Hello and welcome to Business News Updates, a program brought to you live from Union Television. On this program, we take you through the foreign exchange markets, the stock markets, as recorded by BDC, that is Bureau de Change vendors, and of course, the Central Bank of Nigeria, giving you updates from Monday through to Friday. And starting on Monday started on a high note, was recorded at 1,130 naira per dollar as the naira fell again during the day to the US dollar at the official rate, but closed flat at the parallel markets. The naira depreciation is coming after the local currency recorded a gain against the dollar in the official market the previous day. The naira sustained its free fall on Tuesday, closing at 881.88 naira per dollar in the official markets and at 1,157 naira per dollar in the parallel market. This represents a 7.6% decline in the local currency compared to the 814.60 naira per dollar, which it closed on Monday. On Wednesday was different as the naira gained against the dollar, closing at 831.47 naira per dollar at the official market. This also represents a 6.60 increase in the local currency compared to the 841.14 naira it closed on Tuesday, which was the previous day. Now we take you straight to Friday, where naira fell to a new low, closing at 927.19 naira per dollar at the official market and between 1,165 to 1,160 naira per dollar in the parallel market. This shows an 11.39% depreciation or decline in the local currency compared to the 832.32 naira per dollar it closed on Thursday, that is the previous day. All these are data gotten from the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM, and of course, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN's official website. Now, moving on from the foreign exchange markets, we take you now to our top 5 gainers and top 5 decliners for the week. Don't go anywhere. This is still Business News Update. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still Business News Update, and of course, I am Musa Christopher. Of course, we've given you the foreign exchange markets rates, and now we are here to give you the top 5 gainers and the top 5 decliners for the previous week in the stock market. To start with, we open with FBNH, which opened at 20 to close at 22.00 with a gain of 2. Also, John Holt followed suit with an opening of 1.78 to close at 1.87 with a gain of 0.17. Following suit is Multiverse to open at 5.81 to close at 6.39 with a gain of 0.58. Following suit also is Fitson, which opened at 15.75 to close at 17.15 with a gain of 1.4. And lastly, on Monday's top 5 gainers for the week, we have Access Core to open at 17.35 to close at 18.10 with a gain of 0.75. Now we move on to our top 5 decliners for the Monday top chart. To open, we have Omatech to open at 0.99 to close at 0.90 with a loss of minus 0.09. Also, we have Guinea Insurance to open at 0.34 to close at 0.32 with a loss of minus 0.02. Following suit is JPaul Gold to open at 1.67 and to close at 1.60 with a loss of minus 0.07. Also, we have for number 4 on Monday's top 5 decliners is ICO Insurance to open at 0.78 and to close at 0.74 with a loss of minus 0.04. And then lastly, for our top 5 decliners, we have Fidelity Bank for Monday to open at 9 and to close at 8.90 with a loss of minus 0.1. Moving on to Tuesday's top 5 gainers and top 5 decliners. To start with, we have Tantalizer to open on our gainers list with 0.05 and to close at 0.58 with a gain of 0.03. Moving to Unilever, which is our second on the list for Tuesday's gainers. to open at 14.3 to close at 15.00 with a gain of 0.7. Also, we have JPaul Gold to open at 1.6 to close at 1.63 with a gain of 0.03. Next, you have Mansard to open at 4.53 to close at 4.60 with a gain of 0.07. Also, we have UBA to open at 21.15 to close at 21.40 with a gain of 0.25. Also, we have on our top 5 losers or top 5 decliners for Tuesday to open, we have Omatech to open at 0.9 to close at 0.81 with a loss of minus 0.09. Moving on to second, which is Ikeja Hotel to open at 4.66 to close at 4.20 with a loss of minus 0.46. Also, we have Nymeth to open at 2.23 to close at 2.01 with a loss of minus 0.23. Next, we have M Benefits to open at 0.59 to close at 0.54 with a loss of minus 0.5. And we also have Guinea Insurance to close our top 5 decliners list for Tuesday to open at 0.32 and to close at 0.30 with a loss of minus 0.02. Moving on to Wednesday, our top 5, which is Nestle, Wapik, UPDC, LLX, and eTransact. Also, our decliners are Guinea Insurance, Omatech, Nymeth, Tantalizers, and Unity Bank. To start with our top 5 gainers, Nestle opened with 10, that is 1,050, to close with 1,150.00 with a gain of 100. Wapik followed suit to open at 0.65 to close at 0.75 with a gain of 0.06. UPDC also comes in at number 3 on Wednesday to open at 1.25 to close at 1.34 with a gain of 0.09. Next, we have LLX to open at 3.18 to close at 3.34 with a gain of 0.16. eTransact comes in at number 5 for our top 5 gainers for Wednesday to open at 6.85 and to close at 6.95 with a gain of 0.1. Moving on to our top 5 decliners, we have Guinea Insurance to open at 0.3 to close at 0.27 with a loss of minus 0.03. Next, we have Omatech to open with 0.81 to close at 0.73 with a loss of minus 0.08. Also, we have Nymeth to open with 2.01 and close with 1.82 with a loss of minus 0.19. Also, we have Tantalizer to open on Wednesday's top 5 losers or decliners, as the case may be, with 0.58 to close at 0.53 with a loss of minus 0.05. And then lastly, for Wednesday's top 5 decliners, we have Unity Bank to open with 1.68 and to close with 1.55 with a loss of minus 0.13. Next, we have GT Co on our Thursday's top 5 gainers list to open with 384.5 to close with 39.00 with a gain of 0.55. Transcorp opened with 6.83 to close with 6.98 with a gain of 0.15. FBNH followed suit to open with 21.85 and to close with 22.05 with a gain of 0.2. Next, we have JPaul Gold to open with 1.64 and to close with 1.65 with a gain of 0.01. Now moving to our Thursday's top decliners, we have Unity Bank, Tantalizers, Wapik, Guinea Insurance, and of course Nymeth. Unity Bank opened with 1.55 to close with 1.40 with a loss of minus 0.15. Tantalizer also opened with 0.53 to close at 0.48 with a loss of minus 0.05. Furthermore, we have Wapik to open at 0.71 and to close at 0.65 with a loss of minus 0.06. Coming at number 4 on Thursday is Guinea Insurance to open at 0.27 to close at 0.25 with a loss of minus 0.02. And then lastly for Thursday, we have Nymeth to open with 1.82 and to close with 1.70 with a loss of minus 0.12. finally, for our top 5 gainers or decliners for Friday, we opened with NIMET, which started the table with an opening of 1.7 to close with 1.87 with a gain of 0.7. Next, we have Ikeja Hotel to open at 4.2 to close at 4.62 with a gain of 0.42. Next, we have Unity Bank to open with 1.4 to close at 1.54 with a gain of 0.14. Next, we have Omatech to open at 0.71 and close at 0.78. That is 7 times higher, which resulted to 0.07. And then lastly, for our top 5 gainers for Friday, we have Guinea Insurance to open at 0.25 and to close at 0.27 with a gain of 0.02. And then we move on to our top 5 decliners for the week. That is the last for the week, which started with UCAN to open at 16.9 to close at 15.25 with a loss of minus 1.65. Next, we have Cadbury to open at 15.85 and to close at 14.20 with a loss of minus 1.15. Next, we also have May and Baker to open at 5.3 to close at 5.00 with a loss of course, minus 0.3. Next, second to the last on our list for Friday and even for the week is UPDC to open at 1.33 to close at 1.26 with a loss of minus 0.07. And then finally, to cap it all up for the week, we have Veritas Capital to open at 0.37 to close at 0.35 with a loss of minus 0.02. All right, thank you so much for staying with us on Business News Updates, a segment in Business Morning. Now we'll be taking you over to our next show. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.